Hi guys, Lone Vic here again, and this is another episode of Honest Talk. And today, as you can see, or tonight to be honest, it's already dark outside, I've got this bad boy behind me. This is the all-in pledge of Bloodborne, the board game from Cool Meanies or Not. And I would like to share over the next 10 minutes my honest opinion about this game. Now, I've played this game for... I've done like 5 sessions of this game, and you'll hopefully see the videos of the solo playthroughs soon on my channel as well. But after those sessions and after going through some of the base game and a few of the add-ons, because there are a lot of boxes here, as you can see, I've came to the conclusion that I want to share with you, so let's go. I went into this Kickstarter with a glimmer of hope after being disappointed with the board game from Dark Souls. I was counting on a great cooperative experience with a high level of difficulty in Dark Souls, and it, in my opinion, didn't deliver. And I was afraid that this one would also be, a disappointment, but on many levels it wasn't. And why? Let's start from the beginning. The number one argument for this game, Bloodborne, the board game, being a good Dark Souls replacement, is that there are no dice whatsoever. And this is brilliant. I liked the direction the creators went with this, because in Dark Souls and in this as a game, if you even played the console games, for example, there is a lot of learning, a lot of remembering, a lot of memorizing of skills, abilities, moves and stuff, a lot of analyzing and preparation. And in the Dark Souls game it was all there in the board game, but it all got wrecked when your careful planning and your tactics and everything was finished, was blundered completely by a bad dice roll. And that sucked immensely. There were some methods of mitigation, but it wasn't quite this. Here in Bloodborne, no dice. You have a lot of ability to predict what's gonna happen on the board. Sure, you don't know what the story is in the campaign, but that's the point, right? You need to be surprised. You need to be expecting the unexpected and prepare. But when you are going into combat or you're planning your next move, there is a lot that you can predict and a lot that you can calculate and a lot that you can prepare for, especially when you're playing co-op with a few friends. Then there is a lot of discussion over the table, and well, you've got only 3 cards theoretically, and you have to use them, or you may use them in your turn. And okay, so should I move here, or should I attack first, or maybe escape to the dream, but then we will advance 1 round, and then we have only 2 rounds left before the map resets, and that's no good, so maybe we could optimize it more. You can prepare a lot, and even in combat there is a little element of surprise, because there are only 6 cards in this enemy behavior deck, right? 3 basic attacks, 2 specials and 1 ability. So if you remember, or if you keep track of what already passed, you can calculate more or less what are the chances for another basic attack, or whether a basic attack is coming, or should you be preparing for a special or something like that. So there is a lot more, maybe not predictability, I wouldn't call it predictability, but I would call it a lot more information that you can collect during the game that makes your planning more solid and more concrete, right? And if your tactic is good and you manage to predict and you manage to pull off a move, there is a lot more satisfaction than there would ever be from just, planning out everything and rolling the dice just in hope that your plans don't get spoiled, right? And this is brilliant. I love this. So when I saw the campaign, I was like, I don't know if I will back this, but when I saw that there are no dice and I read about the mechanic of combat and of how you are going to prepare for each round, I'm in. Let's try it. Let's risk it again, right? So this is number 1. Number 2 is that even if you don't go all in, even if you go for a retail box of the core box or something that will probably sooner or later happen. It will be in the shops, right? Even right now, today, to be honest, coincidentally, Simon said that they would release a retail version of this Hunter's Dream box that gives you additional missions for each campaign at a price of, I think, $39 or something like that. So this will be a steal as well. Grab it. This is a good add on to the core box. If you have a chance to nab both of those boxes, then sure, do. You will be satisfied, right? And this is the second point, that there is so much to do here. Even in the main box, those 4 campaigns that you have in the main box, they each have 3 chapters. You can play those chapters, repeatedly, to be honest, because you don't always go into every nook and cranny of every map. The monsters will spawn differently. There will be different tiles laid out. You will be playing with different hunters who've got different skills. So there is an element of replayability here, although you kind of remember how each chapter ends or how each campaign ends, so you know what to expect more if you're playing for the second or third time, right? But still, it doesn't get boring after a while. At least, well, after 5 games, I still want more, right? And I had games where after 1 or 2 games, I was like, I'm not going to put it back on the table ever again. No. Right? And here, I'm all for it. I can see myself going through the campaigns. There are a lot of them in this all-in. I have no idea if I'll be able to finish all of them. But for now, this is gold. Right? So there are 2 main things, no dice and the amount of things and the variety of things inside, because there is quite a lot. Those are very important points if you're looking for a good co-op with little downtime between players, because those actions from player to player are being performed pretty quick. The longest time is taken up by the discussions and planning together, right? But when you are finally resolving your turn, then those movements and those actions are pretty easy to follow, easy to enact, and pretty quick. So the downtime here is little. Everybody is active most of the time, right? There is no dissatisfaction from a bad roll. There is a lot of element of surprise from the campaign side, which is great. So my favorite, definitely when it comes to co-op, high difficulty cooperative monster slaying games, right? Maybe not my favorite co-op ever, because there is a list, but definitely when it comes to, like, putting dudes on the map, slaying monsters, and going through a few scenarios of a campaign, and the story is written pretty well as well. The flavor texts and everything, it's moody, it's dark, it's like it should be, right? So definitely in this area, that's 2 thumbs up. If I had 2 more, I would give it 2 more, definitely. This is money well spent. Now, as the title suggests, this is an honest video, so let's talk about the not so good things about this game. There are a few, but only a few, and they're not that serious. One of them is. But only one of them. So let's start with the less serious one. Now, maybe it is me that I got spoiled by Kickstarter games and deluxe editions and stuff, but opening another game from Cool Meanies or not and seeing those pretty tiny cardboard player boards and this hunt board and everything, it kind of doesn't quite rub me the right way. I would say, and this is maybe, like I said, because we're spoiled now by well-made games. The minis are brilliant, the cardstock quality is very good, right? But Cthulhu Death May Die, this thing, Blood Rage, and so many others, they have one thing in common when it comes to the publisher here, that everything, like, the boards, the player boards and everything almost comes on like cardboards, like not even cardboards, like thick paper, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of, and it's slippery, and the cards don't stay in place all the time. It's kind of wonky in my opinion, but that's only me. But this is the first one, right? And this is not a big one, it's kind of an aesthetic thing. I like my dual layered player boards and player mats on the table and stuff like that. The other thing is a bit more serious. Now, the rule book and the rules themselves. In comparison to Dark Souls, you don't have to house rule half of the game in order for it to be playable. No, sir. This is pretty solid. But some of the explanations and some of the process is overly complicated, I think. Now, two examples here. One example is the description that you get on the weapons, on the guns that the hunters have. And the wording where you may automatically stagger the basic attack of an enemy, or something close to this, right? Now, automatically stagger, I've seen arguments on the forum, discussions on the forums about it. Now, some people interpret this that if you automatically stagger a basic attack, that means that you just automatically stagger it out of the box if you use the weapon. But then stagger in the manual, in the rulebook, has this information that your stagger attack has to be faster than the attack of your enemy. So, which one is true? Do I read the stagger on the card as an automatic no matter what the speed is, or do I look at the speed of my attack and compare it to the enemy attack, and then I can automatically stagger even though my attack card doesn't have a stagger on it, but I have a weapon? So this is not really clarified in the rulebook, as a few more things are not clarified clearly enough, stated clearly enough in the rulebook. There is an FAQ already on the web, and with voices from the creators as well, which is cool. Kudos for that. The other example that I would give you is when you attack, because the attack consists of a few steps. So there is this kind of like initiation of the attack, and then the drawing of the enemy card, and then the possibility to dodge, and then performing the attack and assigning damages and everything. And cards have different wordings here, and some cards you might interpret that they happen as soon as you place the card on the board, and some of them you would interpret that as soon as you assign damage, or maybe as soon as you dodge. And there is a lot of kind of intertwining opinions and interpretations here that also I've seen around the web, and I had some problems with those when I was playing for the first time as well. What would clarify this immensely was some kind of like a decision tree on the back of the rulebook showing a schematic of the attack with like arrows pointing from one stage of the attack to the other, clearly dividing it and referencing to those stages within, within the cards with the proper names. And this would immensely clarify all those doubts that people have right now. There are a few more issues with this rulebook. I think I've seen better ones from this publisher, definitely. Simon, come on. You could do better. I know you can because you did so many times before. So this is a bit of a kind of a snag here, but still this game is very playable with the FAQ, with the help from the forums to clarify some problems. This is still cooperative monster slaying gold. Not platinum, but gold, well invested money. I'm very happy with all those boxes, with this huge pile. Hopefully I'll be able to go through all of them from head to toe, let's say. I cannot do anything else but recommend this strictly, especially if you like co-op games, if you have a good group for co-op, and if you like thinking and planning ahead and analyzing a lot and preparing yourself for the inevitable doom. So sure, Bloodborne the board game from Simon. Again, 2 thumbs up. My name is Lone Vic. If you like this opinion or if you have a different one, share it in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more about different games and see some unboxings, how to plays and everything. You can find the how to play video and the unboxing video for Bloodborne on my channel as well. Hope you're healthy during this pandemic weird time. Hope you're good and hope you're playing a lot of board games and you have time for it. I wish I had more sometimes. See you next time. Bye bye.